So, hey, my favorite NFL story of the day, because Patrick Mahomes, his press conference ahead of the AFC Championship game against the Bills this week, said that referees are not giving favorable calls to the Chiefs. Said it with a straight face, but he said it, quote, "I don't feel that way. At the end of the day, the referees are doing their best to call the game as fair and as proper as they possibly can." Yeah, okay. It's gotten to a point where it's no longer a cottage industry. It is now over the top. How are you getting all of these calls? How are you getting these unnecessary roughness calls when they're not? And especially Mahomes, who really in one play turned the tide of his image from everybody loves Mahomes to now half the people hate Mahomes when he tried to flop out of bounds, knowing full well I can maybe get that call because they want to make calls and they want to give us the football, right? You can't ignore that they get big calls, big unnecessary roughness calls. Mahomes gets every single call, and he gets more calls than Brady does. And Brady got every single call. He didn't get one call. Brady would yell at the official, "Okay, Tom, okay." But you know that. But this has been my favorite story this week because Patrick Mahomes has gone from everybody loves Patrick to now he's the villain. And I love that because now suddenly it's, I'm sick of Mahomes. I'm sick of the Chiefs getting the calls. I'm sick of him being on TV all the time. I'm sick of all of his TV commercials. I'm sick of all the publicity that I'm sick of seeing him and Kelsey everywhere I go. With that one game, because of the attention now spent to the calls the Chiefs got, which helped them win this game, right? You can't say they didn't. And now this reaction to it, everybody's become Bills fans. The average NFL fan no longer is rooting for Patrick Mahomes. They want to see you get some comeuppance. They don't like the fact that all these calls continue to happen at Burrowhead and you get all these calls. And now Mahomes has gone from a guy with an incredible self-image to somebody now who half the NFL fans now want to say, I want them to lose this weekend. I can't stand that. I still don't like the Taylor Swift stuff. And then they get all crazy about it. But all of this with Patrick Mahomes. And it's part of that old adage that you live long enough to play the villain, right? Mm-hmm. He's been popular long enough to finally turn into the villain. But that game and that play specifically where he flopped, I can't tell you how many people red in their face and their eyes telling me, can you believe that bleeping Mahomes play on Sunday? What the blank was that? I'm like, wow. So it was just needed that, and that flipped people from, wow, Mahomes is great. He's so cool. He's on TV a lot now. No, I can't stand that guy. Can't stand what he did. He ruined the sanctity of the game. He has become the villain in just a few days, which is a phenomenal storyline.
Yeah, let me look straight into that camera. Hey, everybody, grow up. You just wish your quarterback was as creative and got the calls and had the cachet to where the flag that might be borderline gets thrown and that they haven't adjudicated and twisted the way they do refereeing to go up to a booth and VAR and Sky Judge to overrule those things. Look, man, you're playing within the margins, and wherever you can draw an advantage, you're trying to get it. How many times have you seen your favorite quarterback get hit out of bounds? Guess what? That means he's not 10 down. Look at what happened to Jared Goff. Oh, yeah, that was a penalty after the interception that got returned for a touchdown. Oh, yeah, clear penalty. Should have been called. He was at home. He was the number one seed, and they just looked and said, should have gotten the hell out of the way instead of staying there and getting his ass kicked, right? He didn't get a call. That's the difference. When you're on top of the world, everything coming up roses for you. Got to figure out a way to beat them between the lines. And where you have an opportunity, you take a shot, right? We were watching the national title game the other night, right? Notre Dame, frustrated all night, can't get to Will Howard. What's the guy do? Finally gets within 2 steps of him. Does he drill him in the ribs and knock him down? No, he pushes him to the ground. Like, you get 15 yards for the penalty, which is obvious, and you don't even get the significance of giving this guy a legitimate hit. So, if you're a defender, what's the tail of the tape here? What's the lesson? If you're going to hit him and you're going to get the call, you drill him. Mm-hmm. And then maybe he's not tiptoeing through the tulips again. Because even if he gets the 15 yards, he's feeling it a few plays later.
Yeah,
I'm not calling you for you to do anything dirty. I'm not calling for that.
You make sure you hit that guy. You hit him as hard as you can and make sure. Because look, there is.
Yeah, okay, I'll wear it. Yeah,
there is going to be the part. You see how you sound. There is going to be that part of, hey, if you're going to get called for it anyway, I figured I may as well commit the penalty.
No, that's right.
There is part of that. But like Mahomes, and that's why it's so, and that's why I think what turns so many people against him is that, hey, we know quarterbacks get protected more than everybody else. We know that sometimes they kind of stop before they go out of bounds, see if they get that little hit, and that's okay and that's acceptable. But when you get hit and you flop, suddenly that was the final straw. And it went from, Mahomes to I can't stand it, like with fire in their eyes, like for Mahomes.
Yeah, because the first call, I still watching it live and even on replay, I'm like, yeah, okay, I could see that call.
Yeah.
The second one,
come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
But like the first one, I'm like, I don't see why we're getting so upset about this one. This one's borderline. Okay, you could have held it back and not thrown it, but it's Mahomes. You protect your stars at a whole level. We've watched it with every sport for as long as you and I have been alive. Very rarely do you just say, all right, yeah, go ahead and beat him up. We're okay with it. And certainly with the cachet. And look, the Chiefs were already teetering in terms of overexposure, because even the Andy Reid commercials, you're at a point where you don't want to see his face anymore. Nuggies aren't fun anymore. Whatever that thing he's doing now where he's playing a rhyme. Yeah.
Bundle Rooski.
That's not funny anymore.
Bundle Rooski.
You're done with it.
I'm sick of the Bundle Rooski because Mahomes, I bet she flopped right after they shot that commercial. He just flopped to the ground.
Yeah, it's not like they're running out, secondary receivers, maybe a little bit of Karlaftis. How about getting him some run? Same three guys.
He's gone in 1 week to go from I am the overwhelming most popular player in the league to now half the league wants to just see him lose and lose. Like he has become the villain in that fast. It's that fast. He's become the
Josh
villain.
Allen's just so damn likable. And you're going to have Bills fans throwing people through tables.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I mean, that's going to push people in your direction too.
They're gonna throw people dressed as referees through tables.
Probably.
Like you think that's going to happen? You throw me. I'll dress as a referee this week. That'll be great. I'll dress as Carl Jeffers. Sure, you throw me.
I think that would be combat pay, but yeah. Wait, that guy's a referee. Get him to the table. It's like I was just having a joke.
But man, to see him go to become the villain, that is just a delicious story this week.
As long as he owns it. Here he didn't own it. Just own it. I got a call.